From Colin Rugg. As Secretary of State, Marco Rubio smacks down CBS News' Margaret Brennan after she bizarrely claimed the Holocaust happened because of too much free speech. These people, well, they're not sending their best. Maybe this is their best. I don't know. But these are not bright people. These are people that will just say their producer will hand them their opinion and their talking points, and they will just repeat them because they get paid a lot of money and they like to do that. And they like to make a lot of money and they want to keep making lots of money. And I think a lot of them just genuinely aren't all that bright. Let's take a look.
Well, he was standing in a country where free speech was weaponized to conduct a genocide. And he met with the head of a political party that has far-right views and some historic ties to extreme groups. The context of that was changing the tone of it. And you know that the censorship was specifically about the right.
No, I have to disagree with you. Free speech was not used to conduct a genocide. The genocide was conducted by an authoritarian Nazi regime that happened to also be genocidal because they hated Jews and they hated minorities and they hated those that they had a list of people they hated, but primarily the Jews. There was no free speech in Nazi Germany. There was none. There was also no opposition in Nazi Germany. They were a sole and only party that governed that country. So that's not an accurate reflection of history. I also think it's wrong. Again, I go back to the point of his speech. Okay, the point of his speech was basically that there is an erosion in free speech and intolerance for opposing points of view within Europe. And that's of concern because that is eroding. It's not an erosion of your military capabilities. That's not an erosion of your economic standing. That's an erosion of the actual values that bind us together in this transatlantic union that everybody talks about.
So I'm going to try to be generous with Margaret Brennan here. Perhaps she was talking about free speech in the Weimar Republic before the Nazi seizure of power, perhaps. But by that logic, then just any election and free speech is just this inevitable gateway towards genocide. This makes no sense from any way you look at it. I mean, maybe she really is stupid enough to believe that there was free speech in Nazi Germany. I don't know. They wouldn't actually surprise me at this point. But from whatever angle you look at this, I mean, even if she's talking about free speech in Weimar Germany, right? That's still not a good point. That's still not a coherent point. That still doesn't prove anything other than the fact that the producer who gave her that opinion or that question doesn't know anything or hasn't thought it through, let's just say. Hilarious. I mean, it's so sad. But anyway, Elon Musk says, well said, Secretary Rubio. I don't know whether to laugh or cry when I see stuff like this. It's just so transparently propagandistic. It's so transparently narrative. It's so transparently framing, dishonest framing, manipulative framing. Nothing in this resembled journalism, right? There was nothing in this that was an attempt to inform the audience and let them make up their own minds. It's immediate framing. That's what they do so often too, is just immediately right from the start, they'll throw out some just insane frame for the whole thing, just to poison the well from the start. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.